Good morning, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am with the most incredibly beautiful, talented, amazing Yvette.
Well, hello, thank you.
So this is exciting. We have someone else in the room with us who we have an expert. It's an expert in intuition. And you know, the way I think of intuition is, and I'm sure we're going to hear a completely different side of it, but is that gut feeling that we get. You know, it's that feeling like I should really do that. You know, we hear it clearly, and it's not a voice that's like that judgmental voice. It's that really positive, calm, loving voice inside of us. And, you know, it comes up for us many times.
It has, yeah.
And we're really trying more and more to listen to that, but not just listen to it, but then take action on it right away. So let's get to the fun, and we're going to introduce Carolyn Flyer, and we're going to talk about intuition. So thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I said earlier, it was so nice to be able to shower and put on mascara for something.
Yeah, and you know, and Yvette is showered and I'm not. So in the picture here, I'm between two women that are really clean, and I'm sweaty. So I hope it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. Okay, so let's talk about intuition. So tell us what you know, again, we're talking to an audience here that may have not really heard of intuition before, or just the basics of it. So how can you explain it to them so that they can kind of get an understanding of what intuition actually is?
I think that's a great way to put it, and a great reminder for me. Intuition, the way you said it, I actually think was really articulate and right on. It is a littler voice. I like to say that our intuition doesn't compete. It speaks in a soft, confident voice, but it doesn't like to compete with the ego, and it doesn't. And so we're kind of tapped really gently on the shoulder, and if we choose to listen, then we do. And if we choose not to, we go about, you know, our lives. Intuition will not compete with the ego. And so it just comes to us in a gentle whisper. That said, there's a feeling that's associated with it. There's a resonance in our body. It comes without the outer chatter, right? It's like, if you're like, you know, I don't know if I should go to this college or that college. And when you think of one, it's like, all these voices come up. Well, it's like, I should go there. Maybe I shouldn't go there. The weather's really nice. And then there's another one where it's like, all of a sudden, it's just like, there's a calm that comes over your body. That's our intuition. And I know that we have an audience that is like, you know, trying to understand intuition. Maybe it's the first time they've heard it. I actually think that intuition is spirit's way, God's way, source's way, whatever you want to refer to it as like guiding us in the right direction. I think that spirit conspires to support us in being our highest, best self. And so she does that through gentle prodding. It's through inspiration. It's through repulsion. It's through gentle prodding in our body, right? So it's like you hear a piece of music and all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. That's like spirit pushing us to be our best self. So it's really important to hear that voice and follow it.
You know, it's funny that you say that. So one of the things that we talk about a lot, and I'm really interested to hear your opinion, you kind of already said what it is, but I'm interested to see if you're in agreement. We've talked about before, we feel like there's this internal GPS. It's like, you know, we have a GPS in the car, and we follow the directions. Like if we don't know how to get somewhere, it tells us turn right, turn left, turn right, stop up here, and we follow the directions. However, we have this GPS inside of us, this voice that is always kind of guiding us and telling us what to do. However, unlike the car, we don't always listen and take action and follow directions. What are your thoughts on that?
I love that you said this, and I'm feel really lucky that I'm teaching a class on this, because otherwise I'd be like, let me think about this for the next 5 to 7 minutes. But I actually have the answer right here. Intuition is really only as powerful as the intention that accompanies it. So think about it like this. It's like if you're sitting in a building and you're like, I do not feel safe in this building, but you're like, whatever, I'm just going to sit here. And then the building falls down. Intuition wasn't terribly helpful. But if we apply appropriate intention to our intuition, then we're golden. It's like I'm sitting in this building, I don't feel safe in it. I get up, I leave the building collapses. I'm like, wow, intuition really supported me. So it's important that we like feel the prodding in our body, and then we apply the appropriate intention that doesn't have the ego associated. It doesn't have our past conditioning or expectations of our family. It's what feels right. There's a resonance, there's a yes that accompanies your intuition.
Right. And I love that you say that, the voice that feels right. And I think everyone out there understands that voice, because we've all heard it. Now, sometimes we've actually acted on it, and other times we didn't act on it. And then maybe a few months later, when, like, for example, if we hear the message, get out of that relationship, right? Get out of
Totally.
that, right? And then
it's the best example because we all know we've stayed too long. We knew there were red flags. We didn't do anything about it. It's the best example.
yeah, and it's amazing, right? We'll have that really deep, again, peaceful voice, which will tell us it's time to move on. And then we sometimes don't follow it, and then it'll be 6 months, a year later, we're like, man, if I only listened, I remember it told me, the voice said that to me, right? Amazing. So
what is the best way, in your opinion, to tap into our intuition?
It's a good question. The best place is by going into our body. Meditation is always a really, really wonderful tool to support us in being in our bodies. Meditation isn't for everyone. That's what we think. Like, I cannot sit down, put my fingers together, close my eyes, and meditate. And I have been practicing Buddhism for 16 years, and there's a lot of meditation that if you go to a retreat, it's predominantly meditation, but I'm not a meditator, and I have found my own meditation. For some it's gardening, for some it's running. For me, I get up every morning at 5:30 in the morning. My dog and I walk, and I do my meditation that way. I take 100 very slow, intentional, embodied breaths. I then have my own meditation that I do while I'm in transit. That's my meditation. Embodying, feeling your feet on the ground, hearing. It's like incorporating all of your senses and being with yourself. When you're with yourself, you're with spirit.
That's a great way to talk about meditation, because the truth is, you don't have to sit and, close your eyes and chant or whatever it is. You really can do that in anything that you find peaceful, going for a walk or going for a run or gardening.
Sitting at a light in traffic.
Great point.
Taking conscious breaths. It's like, sometimes I will tell clients, set your alarm for every 2 hours. And when that alarm goes off, close your eyes, drop into your body, and take stock. What's going on? Am I feeling anxious? If I'm feeling anxious, maybe I breathe right into the center of that anxiousness. Am I feeling hungry? I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat. Just find out what's going on in there, because we can go an entire day, week, year without checking in to find out what's going on in there.
That's a great point. So let me ask you this. What's a tool that the audience here, everyone that's watching, what's something that they can use to start tapping into intuition, or just anything with intuition, in your opinion, that someone just starting out might want to start doing?
So as simple as I can make it is go to the refrigerator, open the refrigerator, ask your body. There's two choices. Let's say there's a slice of leftover pizza and there's a salad. And it's a crisp, beautiful salad straight from the garden. And you drop into your body and you go, leftover pizza or salad? And your body goes, oh, the pizza. And then your mind goes, yeah, but the salad, and it's fresh from the garden and there's no pesticides and it's good for you. Which one was the right answer?
Great point.
the pizza was. Your body said pizza. And you can do the same thing. You take your dog for a walk and you get to the end of the street and you check in and you go, which way does this body want to go? Body wants to go left, I'm going to go left. So it's really like, and I also want to say that the body doesn't care, spirit doesn't care, whether you're asking about whether I should do this major merger I've been working on for 20 years, or should I have the lasagna or the peanut butter and jelly? It's all the same. It's just a decision. It's like, and the body knows the direction it wants to go, but the ego knows way better, it thinks.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when you were just talking about the refrigerator and you're talking about the pizza and the salad. I'm thinking, yeah, it sounds like the pizza was the right choice because it was just a real simple answer, right?
Yeah.
Because
That was the right answer.
Yeah.
But the problem is the ego or the intellect comes in and goes, yeah, but you don't want to gain weight, and nope. It's just like, that's what the body wants. I'm not saying that we have to like jump ship on health or anything. That was just the example. It could have been a salad and a granola bar. It's just, we need to check in and see where the resonance is.
Right. So again, so what we're hearing you say is really listen again to the soft, easy answer was in that specific case was pizza. It might not be. You could do it tomorrow and it might be salad. You just don't know. But it's again kind of paying attention to where the voice, you know, which one is it? Is it the one that's always, well, maybe you should do this, you should do that. I don't know. If it's that voice, that's usually the ego, or that's the voice maybe not to pay attention to. It's that calm, peaceful voice that, you know, that right? Yeah. So
it's fluid. It's easy. I use it literally when I'm going for a hike. You know, it's like, well, I drop in. It's like I could go to Shanahan, I could go to Chautauqua, I could go here, and I drop in and I feel into which one my body wants to do, which one has the most resonance. And you get better at it. The more you use it, the better you get.
Right. It's kind of like going to the gym and working out. You know, you're just doing a small steps at a time. You can't go into the gym and throw up this huge weight without injuring yourself. And here we're just doing small. You're practicing in a very small way, getting connected. And then I'm hearing you say over time it starts to develop more and more where you could actually tap into it at a deeper level.
I think something really important for people to know is that, so I'm a full-on psychic. I'm a psychic and I'm a medium. Most people who take my classes, they're not quitting their day jobs to become psychics and mediums. They are taking this class because they want to be more intimate with life, right? So if I am in my intuitive body and I'm with my partner or my children or my work, someone at work, I can be in a deeper, more intimate relationship because I can drop in and know what my child needs, what my partner needs, what I need. Intuition is simply, I'll tell you what it is. I think it's so fascinating. Intuition is just the exchange of information within the energy that travels between two things that are alike. And so everything is alike because we are all made of the same thing. This tree is made out of atoms and molecules and neutrons, and my dog is made out of things, and I'm made out of those things. So we have the capacity to be in relationship psychically, intuitively with anyone and anything. And so that sounds really kind of fantastic. And it's also really normal. It's like you wouldn't be sitting there with your jaw dropped if I were like, and you can all hear things and you can all see because you're accustomed to it. It is no different than being able to see or hear or taste or smell. It's a sense. We just don't flex that muscle. And if we did, you could quit your day job and, well, you love your day job, but you could be as intuitive as me. It's like, it's just a matter of, I have gone to the gym and worked my intuitive muscle now for 7 years, but I was not, that like Haley Joe Osmond who woke up and could see dead people. I developed that gift. I understood that it's just energy, and that if I can read that energy or, drop into my body and learn intuition through deciding what to eat in the refrigerator, I could do that. It really is that simple.
Awesome.
Yeah, Carolyn, can you tell us what classes you're are currently running?
So I am teaching a honing your intuition, and it's basically we talk about how I teach people how to read. Really simple steps. We start with that one I told you about, going to the refrigerator, deciding what your body wants. We talk about what intuition is, how we use it in our day to day, how it can support and empower us. I also talk about the different ways that people are. It's like learning modalities. It's like some are visual, some are kinesthetic. I talk about the way that people can read. They read differently. So some are clairvoyant, some are clairaudient, some are clairsentient. And these are just the senses. Clairsentient is like, oh, I know things by touching things. It's like being kinesthetic. Clairaudient is I know things by hearing things. So I teach different ways that we are more intuitively inclined.
So what's the best way if someone's interested in doing work with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you? And then we'll put a link in also, but at least you can tell them as well.
So my website is my first name, last name, which is Carolyn Flyer. And if you've got a lot of, Philly people, and I see you've got like a Flyers jersey in your back, my last name is Flyer. So it's CarolynFlyer.com.
Well, that's easy.
And I also have a Facebook page and a business page. I think it's Carolyn Flyer Intuitive. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. So I guess before we wrap up, is there anything else that you think, I don't know, again, someone that's just starting to get into this, well, what's another tip that you could give them to really start working with this? What's another thing that they could practice if they wanted to?
Let me think about this. Let's see.
And if not, I have a different question for you too. So either.
Give me a different question. I'll come back to that one, but give me a different question.
Yeah, so I just we're going to go a little deeper here because I'm just interested to see what your perspective coming from where you're coming from. But we have these thoughts that come into our mind and sometimes, again, completely out of the blue. So what's your thought process on where all the thoughts that are coming in are coming from?
Ooh. I would go back to what I said earlier, which is that spirit or God has a path for us, has a desire for us to be our highest, most expressive selves. And so those thoughts that come in, I think they're divine. I think that they are offered to us so that we can follow them. I'll tell you what else. I have heard through multiple intuitives that right now the veil is really thin between this world and the spirit world. And so we have the ability to really hear more now. So paying attention to your dreams is really powerful. I have been struggling. My hair has been falling out and I haven't known the reason. It's been driving me crazy. I had a dream and I woke up with this voice when in the early morning hours, and it said, take sea kelp. And I looked up sea kelp and it's related to the thyroid and it is for hair. It's like if you have trouble with hair loss, then try sea kelp. And I was just like, thanks for that.
That's
amazing. Have to pay attention. It's available. We just have to pay attention. And I will tell you, after 7 years of doing this, I still walk out after each client and go, how in the heck is this happening? This is just so cool. And it's mind blowing to me that we all have access to it and we're not all scrambling to figure it out and be as much as we can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. We definitely know what you mean. We've been getting to it more and more and really trying to pay attention to that voice to guide us, because I really believe I almost we were talking about doing a 30-day experiment where we stop trying to figure out, in other words, if we have a goal or we have something that we want to do, we don't have to know how to do it. So we put the experiment into place by, instead of trying to figure it out, and we'll know because we're up here chattering, we just tap in and ask the question, listen for feedback, and then take action. And then come back, ask the question, then take action.
Yeah.
And it'd be very interesting to see in 30 days where we would be versus if we didn't do it.
And when you say ask the question, who are you asking the question of?
Well, so the way I see it is, if there's a piece of God or a divine or higher power that's inside of all of us, right? That spirit, that soul that's inside of us, I think we can tap into that and ask the question and then listen for the peaceful answer. And there it is. Like, but again, I don't know that that's easy. You know, we've also done, all of us here have done a lot of work. We've done a lot of meditation. Yeah. We've done a lot of courses. You know, this is kind of getting a little deeper, but I do believe that you can tap into that. And so the experiment of trying to ask for the guidance and then following it and just keep coming back to that place. Wouldn't it be amazing if life was that easy that we could?
It is though. It really is. So that's another class that I teach, and I wanted to bring it up, but I was like, oh, that's kind of straying a little bit too far away, but you're already doing it. Yeah. And that is that, you know, one of the classes in my 6 weeks is around calling in our spirit guides.
Yes.
And that there is a belief, I see this myself, that we have spirit guides that handle different provinces in our life, health and family and love and spirituality. And so one of the exercises I have them do is like, sit down and close your eyes and call in a particular guide and ask the question very quickly. Yeah. And allow the answer to come in and take it very quickly. Because the problem is, the longer you wait, then it's like you start doubting yourself. And so you're doing it exactly right. You may not have realized that you were, but it's like just asking and receiving. And I think the other thing that's important for people to know is this isn't Hollywood. And so I don't see dead people sitting at the edge of my bed, right? I don't stop people in the supermarket and be like, I see your father. I will talk to people being people that have passed on. And generally, I hear them in my own voice. And I know that I'm correct because I repeat what I hear. I see them wearing this, or I hear them saying this. And the feedback I get is, oh my gosh, yeah, that's exactly what my dad would say. And that's exactly where he worked. But I had to receive validation to know that I was right. But it comes in my own voice. And so what people will do is they'll ask the question and then they'll doubt themselves. And in actuality, they've got on the line exactly who they're asking for. They just don't have the inner trust.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's huge. That's great. This is, you know, first of all, thank you so much. I know we definitely got something from it. I know that the audience definitely, because, you know, we talked about just some real basic ways to connect. So everyone that's interested in learning more about intuition, you know, make sure to reach out to Carolyn. We're going to put a post or a link in the post in the comments below. And I have a feeling this won't be the first or the only time that Carolyn will be with us. I have a feeling we're going to bring her back a few times more, at least, as long as you're open to it.
It was so fun to be here, and, you know, being able to talk about the things that I love to talk about, and, you know, hopefully inspire other people to learn more about it. Every day. I'll come every day. And then you'll inspire me to shower more and put on makeup more. My husband will thank you for that.
And the two of you will inspire me to shower as well.
Perfect. I don't smell you in Colorado, so
perfect.
Awesome.
Thank
you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We look forward to the next time.
Take good care. Thank you.
Bye.